So the question we asked was, got over $200,000 at birth per child for college? Do you need to? And the reason I wanted to bring that up is that there's a lot of sticker shock, and rightfully so, around how much college costs. And I think it's really important to have a sense of what your family would actually be expected to pay so that you can start thinking about how to realistically plan and define goals that make sense for you and your family. Now, I wanted to offer a quick tip where if you think your family might qualify for financial aid, or you're not sure if you would, I would highly recommend checking out myintuition.org. It's a website that has a bunch of financial aid calculators that are published by different colleges. And it's a great window into how those colleges would actually think about financial aid for your family. To be clear, it's not the super detailed thing that you would actually have to fill out if you're applying for financial aid, but it's a really useful tool where it asks you some questions that are pretty easy to answer for the most part, or you can go look up what you need to answer if you're not totally sure, and come back and complete the calculator pretty quickly and start to get a sense of whether or not your perception of what college education would actually cost your family is accurate or not. It's a super helpful resource, and full disclosure, it was developed by my college economics professor at Wellesley, Phil Levine. It's a really helpful website. I definitely recommend taking a quick run through it to calibrate what your family might actually pay. Now, if you're in a situation where you either learn from that site that your family cannot expect to receive any financial aid realistically, or you just kind of already know that your income is high enough and net worth is great enough that you would not have any chance at financial aid, I wanted to quickly touch on the fact that yes, the number that you would need for a child at birth to cover a 4-year elite institution, and that's making a few assumptions about the college cost inflation and market returns, but using reasonable assumptions, you would need a little bit over $200,000 at birth to be fully funded for 4 years of undergrad. That's even before you start talking about grad school. So it is a really big number, and I wanted to be clear about that because I find that oftentimes people aren't totally aware. The numbers are a lot bigger than they were when parents attended college themselves, and sometimes it can just be a little shocking. And where that can start to get dangerous is if people delude themselves into making bad decisions. So for example, thinking, oh, my parents have told me that I don't need life insurance because they would cover college if something happened to me. And the grandparents, despite their best intentions, might not be aware of the type of financial commitment that actually takes. So I wanted to be clear about what you should expect in terms of the numbers, and also invite you to use myintuition.org to develop a facts-based understanding of how might these actual schools look at your actual family if you were applying for aid today. It's a great resource.